triads. They're talking about major triads, minor triads, augmented triads, diminished triads, which is all fun and good if you understand what the hell they are. But for a beginner, there's some steps before that that beginners tend to miss before they can even understand what the hell all that stuff means. Friends, today I'm going to tackle this head on. I'm going to bring up a very scary word. This word or words evokes a lot of emotion with people. Fear, anxiety, horror. That word or words is theory, but more importantly, music theory. For some reason, people find this to be very, very complicated. Now, trying to think like a beginner, okay? I was watching a very popular YouTube channel, guitar and music channel, extremely popular, very good channel. It's entertaining, it's informative, I love watching it. In this channel, their music theory first video, they're talking about triads. They're talking about major triads, minor triads, augmented triads, diminished triads, which is all fun and good if you understand what the hell they are. But for a beginner, there's some steps before that that beginners tend to miss before they can even understand what the hell all that stuff means. This is what I feel adds to the whole confusion when it comes to music theory, because it's really not rocket science. Of course, it can get kind of complicated the more you go, but understanding the basics really is not that difficult. Again, trying to take the confusion out of all this for you guys, okay? Let's break it down, what I call the very first rung in the ladder of music theory, because you have to understand a few basic concepts before you can start understanding about triads, augmented, diminished, all that other stuff. So let's think like the beginner and let's just really break it down. This is a very basic fundamental that many people don't have. You would be shocked. Again, theory evokes emotions, people shy away from it, people are scared of it. It's almost like the word diet, right? People say, you know, when you use the word diet, they should actually say, you know, just exercise and eat better rather than use the word diet, because as soon as we use the word diet, we're evoking all these emotions of like, oh my God, I won't be able to have my donuts on Friday, blah, 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 blah. Same thing with music theory. It evokes all these weird emotions out of people. I have, what are these things called? Dry boards, whatever. You use a marker. I was going to pick red, green, blue. What would everyone like to see? I just said blue. I made that choice for all of us here. I'm going to do this so you don't have any reflection, so don't mind me. You can still hear me. You don't need to see my ugly mug too much anyway. Alphabet, A to G. Can we handle that? Okay, we're just kind of walking a little bit into some music theory here, but we got to get some of these basics down. The alphabet A to G. Do you understand that? Is that complicated for you? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? Okay. Now, can we remember B goes to C and E goes to F? B goes to C, E goes to F. Can you just remember that? B goes right to C, E goes right to F. Okay? Alphabet A to G, B goes right to C, E goes right to F. Very nice. We're good, we're not complicated, nobody's having a nervous breakdown. The number sign, hashtag sign. Music, we call that a sharp sign. I know some music theorists are going to argue with me with their PhDs and go, oh my God, what are you doing there? Huh? Go to hell. I'm trying to help this for the average lay person out here, okay? So we think of that as a sharp. You almost think of that fancy little small b. We can think of that as a flat. Okay? Alphabet A to G. B goes right to C. E goes right to F. Hashtag symbol is a sharp symbol in music. Fancy little small b means flat. Now, between A and B, we have a new note, but we're going to give it two names for now, okay? We're going to give it two names. Now, what happens a lot, guys, especially when I teach intellectuals, we take simple concepts and they make things out to be a lot more complicated than what they are. I did that too when I was learning this. So let me write this out for you here. Because this really isn't that hard, okay? So in between A and B, we're going to have the note A sharp and B flat, okay? We're going to give it two names. We're going to remember it as two names for now. So reason for that, I'll explain that one down the road, okay? Can you see that? Look at that. Just look at it, would you? A, then we have A sharp, B flat, then we have B, B goes right to C. After C, the next note, okay? Higher than C, lower than D. We have a C sharp, and we have a D flat. I'm gonna put this in too, because my writing, of course, is not the best. But we are going to, in the text and the video, this will help you out a lot. Okay, guys, because so many people struggle about this and they freak out and they panic. This should be your first little foray into music theory, okay? So my writing's not the best here. Look, after C, we have a C sharp, D flat. I know it got written out pretty bad. Think of it as having two names, but it's one note for now, okay? In a minute or two, I'm gonna show you how this translates to guitar, okay? And then we have D, okay? So what we're doing here is understanding the order of the notes in music. We got A sharp, B flat, B goes right to C goes to C sharp, D flat. And then we have here, focus in here, expensive camera, D. After D, we got another note, higher than D, lower than E. D sharp, E flat. God, my writing's horrible. Okay. D sharp, E flat, E. E goes right to F. B goes to C, E goes right to F. Okay? Are you with me here? Alphabet A to G. B goes to C, E goes to F. We handle that okay? We know what a sharp symbol is, a flat symbol. And we're just filling in all the notes in music. Okay? After F, we have an F sharp, G flat, and then we have a G. Then after G, we have a G sharp and an A flat. I'm going to have this all out in the text here in the video to make it easier for you guys to follow along. Because God, I'm starting to confuse myself. No, just kidding. Okay, that's my messy writing. Now, how does this translate to a guitar? Well, let's take a look. Got my guitar here, guys. Now, if I play the A string, the second thickest string, that note is an A because we tune that open string to the note A. But if we play the first fret on the A string, it's not the same note anymore. A, now we're playing the first fret. Well, what note comes next? A sharp or B flat. Then the next note is B. B goes right to C. Then we have C sharp, D flat. Then we have D. Then we have D sharp, E flat, E. E goes right to F. Then we have F sharp, G flat. Then we have G. Then we have G sharp, A flat. Now we're coming up to the 12th fret, the two dots. All the open strings repeat again. We're back to A. And there you have it. Okay? This is called the chromatic scale. It's basically understanding the layout of notes in music. Just to help confirm things, we're going to pick a different string. Let's go to the D string here, okay? Okay, we've got the D string happening here. That note is a D. We tune it to the note D, the open string. First fret on the D string. Hear how it's not a D anymore? You can't sit there and argue, go, that note's a D. It's not. Open string is a D, first fret. It's the next note in the chromatic scale. D sharp or E flat, my friends. E. F. E goes right to F. F sharp, G flat. G. G sharp, A flat. A. A sharp, B flat. B. B goes right to C. C sharp, D flat. We're about to play the 12th fret with the two dots, so that means that the open string repeats again, so we're back to D, an octave higher. An octave is simply the distance of 12 frets. We went through all 12 notes. And that, my friends, is understanding the layout of the notes on the guitar. Because if you don't understand the layout of the notes on the guitar, if you don't know about the chromatic scale and where the notes are in the guitar, you are not going to have a hope in hell of understanding about triads, where triads come from, what a ninth chord is, what a diminished fifth is, what a Lydian scale is. This is your basic first little step into understanding music theory. It doesn't need to be so scary, folks. This is understanding. This is a very basic skill and moving towards understanding music theory that I'm trying to help you with. So many people don't know this. Sometimes I'll hear about a local legend, you know, in the paper. Oh, this person's so amazing, they're up and coming. And I'll say, hey, you know when you hit that C sharp on the A string, they just look at me like I'm from outer space. They're like, what? What's a C sharp? Like, you would be amazed at some of the musicians that don't understand the basics at all. Get to know the chromatic scale on the guitar. Okay, don't write out neck diagrams and start filling them in. That doesn't work. Okay, it hasn't worked. It didn't work for me. Pick a string every night when you start practicing and say, okay, I'm going to start on the G string. I'm going to name the chromatic scale as I go up. Open G, G sharp, A flat, A sharp, B flat, B. Work your way up to the 12th fret. When you're on the 12th fret, you should be back at G again. If you're not, you've done something wrong. Start there. Do that for the first week. Just pick one string. Look at the chromatic scale in front of you. Name the notes all the way up. And then the next week, start the 12th fret, work your way down. Then the third week, don't look at any notes. Try and do it by memory. That's a very good place to start. And I'm telling you guys, this stuff does not have to be as complicated as people make it out to be. If we don't quite understand something, we make it out to be a lot more complicated than what it is. Learn that on the guitar. I would advise someone to work towards eventually memorizing it. But as long as you have a basic knowledge an understanding of how that is, how the notes are laid out on the guitar. When you start getting into the other theoretical music stuff, it's going to start making a little more sense. But that would be your real first step into delving into music theory. I hope that helps. Put that into your practicing like I suggested. And remember, practice hard, practice smart, and we'll see you soon.